1960s, Professor Jose Delgado took a normally hostile bull and implanted electrodes into its brain, electrodes that could be activated by a radio transmitter. His objective was to see if stimulation of the bull's midbrain could short-circuit the rage signals, stopping the bull before it reached the matador. After the bull had recovered from the implantation and in mid-charge, the button was pressed. Implantation, and in mid-charge, the button was pressed. The bull's aggression ceased instantly. A clearer experiment was performed with cats. In this classic example, the hypothalamus, the rhythm maker, was implanted with electrodes. Could it be responsible not just for rhythms, but also for rage? The switch is turned. Then the switch is turned off. So indeed, the hypothalamus does control certain types of aggression.
Matthew Nagel was paralyzed from the neck down after being stabbed several years ago, but technology gave him hope. He was one of 4 testing BrainGate, a new technology where a chip is implanted in the brain that picks up electrical impulses. A computer then interprets those impulses as actions. The chip is implanted just beneath the patient's skull and is only a few millimeters square. Here's Matthew playing a computer game. He's not using a mouse or a joystick, rather he's thinking of where to move the paddle. All thoughts are electrical impulses, and after extensive research and testing, a computer has been trained to decode those impulses and create the corresponding actions. Now close it.
Now close. Eyes open. Not there at all.
This is Matthew completing another task where he's controlling the green dot with his thoughts and trying to follow the red dot.
Telephone Corporation in Japan. Maeda and his colleagues have developed the headsets and remote control as part of a sophisticated wearable computer. They call their device a galvanic vestibular stimulation interface. It works with electrical or galvanic impulses that are transmitted wirelessly to the ear. Electrical impulses travel from the remote control to a circuit board in this pouch.
Please stand with your feet together. Now I'll remote control your balance from left to right.
The vestibular system in our ears is what gives us a sense of balance, direction and acceleration. By sending mixed messages to the vestibular system, the remote control can literally put you off balance, sending you to the right, the left or straight ahead as you attempt to regain balance.
Do you feel tingling in your skin?
No, I don't.
Good. That means this is working the way it should be. This is a car racing simulation system, which makes it possible to experience a sense of gravity from side to side. So every time the car turns a corner on the screen, your body will feel like it's being pulled.
In this case, the system is working on the inner ear sense of acceleration.
So it could be used for things like entertainment systems?
Yes.
The team also envisions helpful uses in daily life. Let's say you're walking to a specific destination but don't have directions. Well, by connecting you with a remote computer program, this system could get you there. Think of it as OnStar for pedestrians.
For example, hook up the cell phone's GPS system to our galvanic vestibular system interface for people who are not good at reading maps. This will help them get to places without having to read a map.
Радуйся, плевелы заблуждений, в одни новые благодати много жды искоренивы. Радуйся, языческих прорицалищих умиров истребителю. Радуйся, христианских подвижников и страстотерпцев укрепителю. Радуйся, немощные духом силою благодати Божией исполняй. Радуйся, изнемогающая плотью все оружием веры облекай. Радуйся, Михаиле, великий архистратиже, со всеми небесными силами.
Благодать от Бога с небесей спроси нам, поющим во славу всечестного имени Твоего Михаиле, да осеняем и Твоим заступлением во всяком благочестии и чистоте поживем, донде же от решений смерти от уз плоти сподобимся предстать огнезрачному престолу Царя Славы и с лики ангельскими возопити. Аллилуйя!
Аллилуйя!
Поющий многообразное Твои чудеса, Михаиле, во спасение наше соденное, молим Господа и Владыку всяческих, да дух ревности по славе Божией же в Тебе, николи же оскудеет и в нас, зовущих Тисице. Радуйся, верных рабов Божиих, во время благопотребно на высоту власти приди в не поставляй. Радуйся, продерзых и недостойных с высоты силы и славы незримо низлагай. Радуйся в день последний избранных от четырех концев земли имея собрати. Радуйся им же грешные, яко плевелы по глазу Божию огню вечному преданы.
MUP Srbije predstavio je javnosti izgled novih ličnih karata, a u Beogradu je počeo i prijem zahteva za njihovo izdavanje. U drugim gradovima prijem zahteva počeće od 21. aprila. Na izdavanje ličnih karata, kako kažu u MUP-u, čekaće se 2 nedelje. Na novoj plastificiranoj ličnoj karti biće uneti podaci o državljanstvu, prebivalištu i jedinstveni matični broj građana. Ona će sadržati i biometrijske podatke, analizu lica, otisak prsta, potpis i digitalnu fotografiju vlasnika, a svi podaci očitavaće se preko elektronskog čipa. Lične karte izdate na starom obrascu važiće do 2011. godine.
Gost vesti je potpredsjednik Vlade Srbije Božidar Đelić, sa kojim razgovara moja kolegnica Ivana Momčilović.
Dobra vest stiže iz Brisela. Koliko čujemo, pozvani smo da od 30. januara krenemo da pregovaramo o potpunom ukidanju viza. Koliko procenjujete da bi ti pregovori mogli da traju i kada ćemo konačno u Evropu i bez pasoša?
Ne gledajte, dragi građani, boju, ovo nije konačna boja. Evo novog srpskog pasoša, bit će mnogo lepša super crvena boja, takozvana carska srpska, kao na zastavi, grb, ćirilica, pasoš, unutra naravno uz naš jezik i engleski i francuski, a onda najbolji tehnološki govoreći pasoš u Evropi. Najbolji tehnološki govoreći pasoš u Evropi. Zato što smo uspeli da ugradimo celu tehnologiju iz Evrope u ovom momentu.
Zato što smo uspeli da ugradimo celu tehnologiju iz Evrope u ovom momentu.
Vlada se odrekla i administrativnih taksi, MUP se odrekao manipulativnih troškova, tako da najbolji tehnološki govoreći pasoš će istovremeno i finansijski biti pristupačan našim građanima, 200 dinara po godini za jedan period od 10 godina.
heb de sleutel opgehaald. Ja.
תהילים ק"נ. הללויה, הללו אל בקודשו, הללוהו ברקיע עוזו, הללוהו בגבורותיו, הללוהו כרוב גודלו, הללוהו בתקע השופר, הללוהו בנבל וכינור, הללוהו בתוף ומחול, הללוהו במינים ועוגב, הללוהו בצלצלי שמע, הללוהו בצלצלי תרועה, כל הנשמה תהלל יה, הללויה.
دين اليهود بثقت كلها من رطفة حمار فاحكموها بالسر والعلن. الرب شرفنا نحن اليهود بمهمة حكم العالم بالمال بالعلم بالسياسة بالقتل بالجنس بأي وسيلة. أمرنا نعمل دولة يهودية والحكومة مهمتها الحفاظ على الدين اليهودي والسيطرة على العالم، كل العالم، بل لازم تحرقها الحروب والفتن الداخلية. تركت لكل واحد فيكم مبلغ من المال يخليه أغنياء العالم. أنا سليم. نعم. أنت عليك ألمانيا، بدي إياك ما تخليها تطلع من حرب إلا تدخل حرب. نعم. بدي إياك تستغفر كل عبقريتك، لا تزعج البابا روما وتدمرها على رأسك. وهلا بدي اياكم كلكم تحلفوا على التوراة انكم تنزلوا إرادة الرب في حكم العالم.
حق الرب ننفذ إرادة الرب. وأنا كمان ونحن كمان.
This is Aaron Russo, a filmmaker and former politician. To his left is Nicholas Rockefeller of the infamous Rockefeller banking and business dynasty. After maintaining a close friendship with Nicholas Rockefeller, Aaron eventually ended the relationship, appalled by what he had learned about the Rockefellers and their ambitions.
I got a call one day from an attorney woman I knew, and she said, would you like to meet one of the Rockefellers? I said, sure, I'd love to. And we became friends, and he began to divulge a lot of things to me. So he said to me one night, he said that there's going to be an event there, and out of that event, you're going to see, we're going to go into Afghanistan, so we run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to go into Iraq to take the oil and establish a base in the Middle East, and we're going to go into Venezuela and try and get rid of Chavez. And the first two they've accomplished. Chavez they didn't accomplish. And he said you're going to see guys going into caves looking for looking for people that they're never going to find. You know, he was laughing about the fact that you have this war on terror. There's no real enemy. He's talking about how by having this war on terror, you can never win it because it's an eternal war. And so you can always keep taking people's liberties away. And I said, how are you going to convince people that this war is real? He said, but the media can convince everybody it's real. I mean, you know, it's just that you keep talking about things. You keep saying it over and over and over again, and eventually people believe it. You know, you created the Federal Reserve in 1913 through lies. You create 9/11, which is another lie. Through 9/11, then you're fighting a war on terror, and now all of a sudden you go into Iraq, which was another lie, and now they're going to do Iran. You know, and it's all one thing leading to another, leading to another, leading to another. Now, I would say to them, what are you doing this for? What's the point of this thing? You have all the money in the world you ever want. You have all the power. I said, you know, you're hurting people. It's not a good thing. And he would say, what do you care about the people for? Take care of yourself and you take care of your family. And then I said to him, what are the ultimate goals here? He said the ultimate goal is to get everybody in this world chipped with the RFID chip, and have all money be on those chips and everything on those chips. And if anybody wants to protest what we do or violate what we want, we just turn off their chip.
So what's happened is that through the implementation of the Federal Reserve System, the government has become vested in these bankers, and they get their money from the bankers. And so then they impose a tax on us, which makes us more slaves, makes it more difficult for us to survive, right? Giving them more profits. And now what's happened is that through the Federal Reserve System, the bankers have pretty much taken control of our government. It doesn't matter Republican and Democrat anymore, because they're both the same. Neither one of them are talking about shutting down the Federal Reserve System or stopping the payment of taxes, or any of the big issues that face Americans, right? So I had a friend, Nick Rockefeller, okay, who was one of the Rockefeller family, and he, when I was running for governor in Nevada, he came to me, introduced himself to me through an attorney, and we became friends. We started talking about things, and I learned an awful lot from Mr. Rockefeller. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. And the goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all over Italy, all over the world, they all work together. They're all central banks. And they're all part of the Communist Manifesto. Central banking is one of the major planks of the Communist Manifesto. We talk about America being a capitalistic country, but yet at the same time we have a central bank that plans everything for us, right? So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one-world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one-world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is given me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
everything,
you sell.
Everything is in there, you know?
Slovi
קוף נון. הללויה, הללו אל בקודשו, הללוהו ברקיע עוזו, הללוהו בגבורותיו, הללוהו כרוב גודלו, הללוהו בתקע השופר, הללוהו בנבל וכינור, הללוהו בתוף ומחול, הללוהו במינים ועוגב, הללוהו בצלצלי שמע, הללוהו בצלצלי תרועה, כל הנשמה תהלל יה, הללויה. תהילים קוף נון. הללויה, הללו אל בקודשו, הללוהו ברקיע עוזו, הללוהו בגבורותיו, הללוהו כרוב גודלו, הללוהו בתקע השופר, הללוהו בנבל וכינור, הללוהו בתוף ומחול, הללוהו במינים ועוגב, הללוהו בצלצלי שמע.
World government is the structure necessary for global justice. You, sir, have been a lifelong advocate of this principle.
Today we must develop federal structures on a global level. To deal with world problems, we need a system of enforceable world law, a democratic federal world government. You know, what Alexander Hamilton wrote about the need for law among the 13 states applies today to the approximately 200 sovereignties in our global village, all of which are going to have to be convinced to give up some of that sovereignty to the better, greater union. Hamilton said, and it's not going to be easy. Most important, we should sign and ratify the Treaty for a Permanent International Criminal Court. That is now at the core of the World Federalist Movement's drive. Their leader, Pat Robertson, has written in a book a few years ago that we should have a world government, but only when the Messiah arrives. He wrote, literally, any attempt to achieve world order before that time must be the work of the devil. Well, join me. I'm glad to sit here at the right hand of Satan.
And I said, do all the people in the Council on Foreign Relations believe this way you do? He said, no. You know, most of them believe they're doing the right thing. A lot of them believe it's better off being socialistic. You know, we have to convince people that that socialism is really capitalism. Because America is becoming a socialist country. It's a communist country today. Well, see, the whole thing is these people control the money. So they make all the rules. You understand? And they put whatever rules they want into effect. And the truth is America has really become a socialist, communistic country. And everybody says it's a capitalistic country. It's not a capitalistic country. You know, how could it be capitalistic when you have a central bank? That's the first, it can't be. You know,
it's a planned economy.
It's a planned economy. It's a phony. If they want to create prosperity, they just print dollars. They just make dollars or put digits into the economy, and now you have prosperity. You don't have real prosperity. You don't have real manufacturing. You just have money being injected in. It's an infusion of credit,
which only makes the government go into more debt.
Into more debt today. Well, one of the things they told me was that he was at the house one night and. We were talking, and he started laughing. He said, Aaron, what do you think women's liberation was about? And I said, I had pretty conventional thinking about it at that point. I said, I think it's about women having the right to work, getting equal pay with men, just like they won the right to vote. You know? And he started to laugh. He said, you're an idiot. And I said, why am I an idiot? He said, let me tell you what that was about. We, the Rockefellers, funded that. We funded women's lib, you know? And we're the ones who got all over the newspapers and television, the Rockefeller Foundation. He says, and you want to know why? He says, there were two primary reasons. And one reason was we couldn't tax half the population before women's lib. And the second reason was now we get the kids in school at an early age. We can indoctrinate the kids how to think. It breaks up the family. The kids start looking at the state as the family, as the school, as the officials, as their family, not as the parents teaching them. And so those are the two primary reasons for women's lib, which I thought up to that point was a noble thing. You know, when I saw their intentions behind it, where they were coming from when they created it, the thought of it, I saw the evil behind what I thought was a noble adventure.
Aaron, did you know that Gloria Steinem, in one of her own books, now admits the CIA funded Ms. Magazine?
No, I had no idea about that. No, I never heard that.
Yeah, we're going to...
CIA funded Ms. Magazine?
Funded Ms. Magazine with the stated goal of taxing women and breaking up the family.
No kidding. I never heard that. Well, Nick told me. I mean, I know it, but not because I know the CIA was involved in it.
Величи душа моя Господа, и возрадовался дух мой о Боге спасе моем.
честнейшую Херувим и славнейшую без сравнения Серафим, без истления Богословородчую сущую, Богородицу Тя величаем.
My friendship with Nick Rockefeller was one where we expressed ideas to each other and thoughts and philosophies, and he wanted me to become part of what they were doing, and for me to become a member of the CFR, and offered various business opportunities for me to get involved in, and for me to not take up the fight or the battle that I've been taking up in the past, to drop that idea, because what was the point of my fighting for the people? I was a guy who was very successful in the movie business, and I saw the truth of what was happening. I tried to express it to the people, and rather than having me express it to the people, they wanted me to join their side because I was a mover and a shaker, and rather than me opposing them, to join them. It was real simple, and he tried to recruit me into that situation, and I didn't go for it. And, it's like, I remember one time he said to me, you join us, so you have an ID card there, and, you have a chip, and your chip will say KMA on it. And I said, what does KMA mean? He said, it means kiss my ass. And anybody stops you, a cop or whatever, and you show them your card or your chip, and they'll know to leave you alone, because you're one of us. And why are you fighting for the people for? What is that about? The people just, they have to be ruled. They have to be, the Constitution, what you're standing for, is only for a few people. It's only a few individuals that can live that way, and we believe that it's best for society to be ruled by an elite people who control everything. And I said, I don't believe that. I believe God put me on this earth to be the best person I could be, and put everybody on this earth to be the best they can be, not to be a slave and a sheep to you and these people. And I don't understand why you want to control everything. What is the need for that? One of the things we discussed, or he brought up in conversation, was reducing world population, and felt that there were too many people in the world. In a way, I agree, there are too many people in the world, but I don't think I have the authority to say who's going to die and who's not going to die, But they felt that they wanted to reduce world population, and he felt that it should be reduced by half. He even mentioned to me once they were having a real problem trying to solve the Israel-Palestinian problem. And he talked to me once about they were playing with the idea of bringing Israel to Arizona, and taking all the people from Israel and giving everybody $1 million and setting up Israel in the state of Arizona.
Unbelievable.
I tell people, why in the world does the American government borrow money from the banks when they have the ability to create it themselves without borrowing it and paying interest on it? Why? And nobody can answer that question. Not one politician ever raises that. Why does the American government borrow money when they can create it without paying interest?
Well, we did create it up until 1913.
And so people say, well, because if the American government does it, it'll create inflation. That's the answer. I say, well, let's look at it. The American government has the Federal Reserve do it, which creates the same inflation as if they did it, but also with the inflation, now you're getting massive debt. So with the Federal Reserve, you have inflation and debt. Now, if the American government made the money, backed by gold, which limited the amount they could make, you wouldn't have debt and you wouldn't have inflation. we said the New York Fed is the main controlling interest of the Federal Reserve System. They control the bulk of it. So the New York Fed is really the Federal Reserve System. Even though there's 12 different banks, it's run by the New York Fed. And the New York Fed is basically the Federal Reserve System. So who's ever running the New York Fed is where, and the families that control it, control the New York Fed. And they're the main engine behind the Federal Reserve System.
And that's a wing of the Bank of England.
Well, the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve are partners. You know, and the Bank of England is a private bank, and so is the Bundesbank in Germany, and the Bank of all the banks of the G8 countries are all private banks. They're private central banks. And look, what happened in Europe? Didn't Europe vote down the European Constitution?
Yes.
They're still doing it. Didn't they vote down the Euro? They're still doing it. They don't care what the people vote. They do whatever they want to do. What we want doesn't matter anymore. It's their agenda, it's their plans that matter.
Da li biste se kladili da znate koju reč ova deca pokušavaju da objasne?
Pa radi ružne stvari, neke zloće koje se ne zli.
Vi ste se javili?
Pa, mogu biti veštice.
Bravo, ponovo tačan odgovor.
Oh What that does is it thickens this layer of atmosphere. More of the outgoing infrared is trapped. And so the atmosphere heats up worldwide. That's global warming. Now, that's the traditional explanation. Here's what I think is a better explanation.
Global warming, or none like it hot.
Explanation. Here's what I think is a better explanation.
Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground, and it would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, and we'd say, that's natural gas. We might get a sound back like, and we say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power. If you do this with 2 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake. In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
Look, buddy, I don't want no hassle today.
Sleep. 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 Sleep.
kući.
Jel ćemo mi da doživimo zadnja vremena, oče?
A?
Zadnja vremena, jel ćemo da doživimo?
Kad su pitali gospodo, kada se dođe 1000 i, a to sad i, do 1000 godina imaš malo, a poslije Bog zna kad će. A ima treba da vide ratovi, treba da vide poništene svi nezaboci, samo se ostane pravednici, tad će sin Boži da dođe. Neće biti mora, neće biti reke, nego će biti zemlja ravna kiticija, kad dođe sin Boži da sudi. Sad se sude vide u Edenskom vrstu, gdje je Hristos razabet, tu će suda vide u Jerusalimu. Sad kad vide Gospod polaze na sud, sva nebeska vojska heruvina koji s neba će da siđu, pošalje andele Gospodnje da skupe zle i dobre. Pravednici koji su imali Boga postavit će s desne strane, a grešnici se stavit će s lijeve strane. Šta ćemo? A dan dolaska Gospodnja sve će iza nje da se do druga neba uzdigne, a hoće da se spali sve. Nebo i zemlja se na riječ o Božom sve za dan strašnog suda. Da se ne riječ o Božom. Novo nebo zemlja, ali sunce mjeste više neće da bude. Ali ide strašno vreme nezapisano zmišti, teško će da bude. Teško će da bude. Svi koji imaju pečat na rukama i na rukama bit će ubiji i uništeni. Sve je to mene vladika Nikolaj govorio.
Jel će da bude rat u Srbiji ili će da bude mirno? Srbija?
Ne, neće reći Srbije da plati. Mi ćemo da vidimo teška muka, našu zemlju izdeli srdi za pare. I kod nas više nema Srba. Rijetko, svim rijetko. U njih samo celostanu koji imaju oca i sina, postajemo manastiri zemlji, ti će da stane, ono će sve. I menjak nego rakete. Neće da se baci more, sve će da se upotrebe. Ureće i žene i sve, vazda pridemiće, sve će da se spali. Od cile to mora da se spomni. Rakete da se sveću, pa da padne, niće sve. Sediš, super sila, vazduh zemlja, gori nebo zemlja, sve ima da, a te malo će da stanu.
Bravo.